Hey, 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 how is everyone tonight? Or in the morning, depending on where you are. I see Chalet is in the house. I just noticed on my notifications you did another little short video, I think, but I haven't seen it yet because I realized, oh my gosh, it's 9 o'clock. I need to go live. So I closed up what I was doing. I was working on an Excel sheet, and here I am. Uh, I have nothing, absolutely nothing planned for tonight. So we'll just see where it goes. Howdy, hey. Sounds like Freckle Girl is in the house. Oh, I did see your beautiful short on with the stork. Is it a stork, an egret? I don't know, a big bird uh, there near your house, and the dog barking at it, and then it flew away. So graceful. Mabel thinks it's at 11. Oh, because last time I started it at 10. Ah, it was a herring. Okay. Is that where we get red herrings from? I thought herring was a fish. Wait a minute. Are you sure about that? I mean, you probably know because it's in your yard. Uh, but I will look it up and we will see. Herring. Herring. See, there is a herring fish. Is there a herring bird? Oh, because it's a heron. Okay. Okay. Herring birds are herons. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for saving me from having to type it. For anybody who's watching on replay, they can see. Okay. But some people call them herrings. All right. It did show up in Google. Yeah, so it's probably a great heron that, because those are big. I don't know. Now I'm confused. I used to work at an animal shelter in California, and I used to feed the raptors and clean their cages. So I had to handle the raptors uh, because wildlife that was injured would be brought in to this. It was a wildlife shelter. Did I say that in the beginning? Yeah, so not just, I might have said animal shelter. It was a wildlife shelter. And so if someone found an injured wildlife, mammals, birds, whatever, they were brought in and medical attention was given, and they were cared for until they could be released. Um, yeah, and so my job was to feed them, and also they taught me how to do like stool tests and blood tests and things with lab, just minimal stuff that you just put it under the microscope and you can look. No fancy lab work or anything, but what to look for on a microscope slide. um, and even the baby birds, like little songbirds and stuff, they had. It's a great blue heron. Okay, those are, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful bird. Anyway, there was like a heron that was brought in, and that thing was huge. I mean, you're driving by a field and you see one and out by the river or something, and you don't realize how big it is until you're close up to it. Which I'm sure, you being so close in your yard, you get a feel for that. Um, but I mean, it's almost scary. I mean, the heron was scarier than the hawks and the ospreys. They didn't have anything as big as an eagle there. But when I was in Utah, there was a man who had a wildlife center at Southwest Wildlife Center. I think they're still around if anybody wants to look them up and donate or something. And he was authorized by the government, and he also worked with Native Americans, with Native American tribes, um, to help with eagles, and there was one that couldn't be released back into the wild because it had permanent injuries. So he would use it for education, taking it to schools and things like that. But anyway, this one in California didn't have an eagle, but yeah, there were all kinds of raptors. In case anyone doesn't know, is a bird of prey. So eagles, hawks, falcons, ospreys, birds like that. And I'm not sure if the crow actually falls under that as well. Maybe. Where's Andy? Very sneaky. Oh, wait. My friend is deathly afraid of birds, and she had me on the lookout, and that thing creeped up on us. Oh my gosh, very sneaky. Wow. I don't know where Andy is. He's out walking the dogs. I hope he's not out on a medical emergency or, volunteer fireman emergency. That as a first responder, they respond to all kinds of, it could be a car accident, could be a weather type of emergency, a fire, medical. Yeah. Could be anything. So if he's around, I'm sure he'll jump in. He knows it. He's pretty good at knowing Tuesday nights. Tuesday nights are the night. Maybe he thinks it's at 11. Yeah, no, I didn't change the time permanently. I only did it that one time on that extra one when we did it on Wednesday, doing that extra one for Mabel. Let me see. Yeah, nothing I need to deal with on my phone notifications. I look great. Well, thank you. I don't even have any makeup on today. And I asked the girls in my tutoring class last night, I said, hey, did any of you jump in the live? And one of them said that they had watched for a little bit. And so I told them, I said, well, if you're interested right now, subscribe and turn on that notification bell. And then when I go live, you'll get a notification. Theoretically, right? I didn't say that sometimes they don't work. And anyway, when I schedule the live, then I go over, I do that on StreamYard, and then I go over to YouTube, and it shows me the scheduled live in my YouTube studio. And I go into the customization there, and I turn on the live chat replay, because there's a function that you have to check the box and then save your changes. So I do that to make sure that anybody who watches it as a replay can see our comments, because it'd be kind of weird just to watch me talking and not really see the interaction with everybody, right? Unless I did this for every comment. There it is. Then people would see it without the replay being on. But yeah. Oh, new. Okay. I have some pictures, and I took a little bit of video on Sunday. I went to the a gala presented by the Cambodia International Film Festival. It doesn't start until like next month, but I think it was probably because of the King's schedule. They wanted to have a gala with the King in attendance, and so the reason why is because they premiered a movie that was done about his sister, Princess Bupa Devi, who has passed away. But when she was young, she became one of the dancers for the Royal Ballet. And then, of course, during the Khmer Rouge time and everything fell apart. And she revived the ballet after that time. So the only reason we even have a Royal Ballet today at all is because Bupa Devi set it up again, right? And so it was a documentary about the Royal Ballet and Bupa Devi's patronage of it, and her hard work. She actually taught the dancing, as well as, she performed in her younger years, and then she went on to teaching. and then she went on to more just being a patron of the ballet. And but about 5 years ago, I think she actually choreographed like a new dance, which then toured in, I believe it said Switzerland and France, in addition to performing in Cambodia, like one performance in Cambodia. And it was a fascinating documentary. It will be available online on YouTube for free. They're not doing any kind of distribution of it for money. Um, it was the production was paid for by donations of people. Um, and anyway, so I've got some pictures of the event, and I got a little bit, just like about 2 or 3 minutes of some video at the end. When is it the end or inside? No, I think during the performance I got a couple of just 2 or 3 minutes, so people could get a feel for what it was like. And some pan over to see the king sitting there, and then back up to the stage. Took ballet classes as a kid. That's so cool. But you never made it to the toe shoes. I didn't either. I went through a stage. I don't know why. I don't know. I was probably 8 or 9 years old or something, and I want to do ballet, and they just made you. The only thing I really really remember about it is that we had to sit on the floor uh, with our feet in front of us touching each other, and then like, so this is your knee, right? Instead of an elbow, it's your knee, because this is like your feet. And then they would push down until your knees were flat on the floor, and it was so painful and everything that I was like, no. I didn't want to do it anymore. um, wow, from 4 until 12. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And then you kind of went into theater after that, I'm guessing, because I think you've got some performance skills. Does teach you great posture. Yeah, I bet, And I mean, now everybody talks about Pilates and in the gym and everything. They've got classes and stuff. But originally, the whole Pilates concept was what dancers learned, which is very much about posture and balance, and so that, like, you're not, in order to, like, for a human being to stand, you have to, your muscles are constantly adjusting, otherwise you would just fall over, right? So you adjust this way, you adjust that way, your muscles are constantly in some form of tension. But in my understanding of the original Pilates concept, the man who like invented, it's named after, right, is finding that center of balance in whatever posture you're in, so that you're as relaxed as you possibly can be. Uh, I don't know. That's what I've heard about it. I don't know. And then that was before it became this big health fitness kind of thing. Wish more of the. Oh, you were in a few high school musicals in the chorus. That's cool. And I wish more of the cheerleader girl, but I really would have preferred the drama life. However, there are some weird kids in that. Yeah, that's true. Draws them out, doesn't it? Everyone has their little group they fit into. Yeah. Which is where I was really unique in high school. Um, I bounced around. I just did my own thing. But not in a loner way, right? I wasn't a loner, but I wasn't regularly in any one group. And so sometimes I'd hang out with the stoners, or sometimes I'd hang out with the jocks and cheerleaders, and sometimes I'd hang out with the chess club, and sometimes I'd hang out, with the misfits, and sometimes I'd hang out in the music room with all the choir and guitar and piano and people. I'm not sure we really had a drama club. We had to have had a drama club, but I was never involved with that. But I was involved in choir. And then for 1 year, I was involved in marching band. That was quite interesting. It was because the the choir teacher said if anybody knows how to play an instrument, they had, because the marching bands in high school and in college, they do that choreography on the football field, right? And so they had a couple of empty spots of people that had like dropped out, and they needed someone to march around. The thing is, though, you have judges that are walking around the football field as you're playing and marching. It's a marching band, right? So as you're marching, they're listening to make sure that you're really playing and that you're not just a fake to fill the spot, right? And I said, well, I've kind of like played with my friend's flute before. I mean, I played the guitar, right? This was before like marching bands now, they'll have someone like actually pushing an amplifier and someone playing an electric guitar. But this was before anybody ever thought of that. And so I had never had any flute lessons at all. I had some trumpet lessons in elementary school, but I didn't really like the trumpet so much. What I really kind of wanted was the French horn, but nobody chose the French horn, and I didn't want to be the only one. And people had chosen, some other kids had chosen the trumpet, so I said, "Oh, okay, I'll do the trumpet." And who knows what would have happened if I would have actually done the French horn. Um, you pretty much could fit in. You could feel some evil girl stares. One time at band camp. Yeah, I never, we didn't have a band camp, or maybe they did in the summer, but I wasn't part of it during the summer because I only joined after school started, and the choir, I was in the choir class and the teacher said this. So anyway, I learned how to do Hello Again by Neil Diamond and the theme for the Pink Panther and one other song. I could actually play them on the flute. And I loved the marching. Oh my gosh, I loved it, loved it, loved it. Your last cheerleading camp, you smoked clove cigarettes in the dorm room. And that was like 100-degree weather. There was no air conditioning. Oh my gosh, good times, good times. So, uh, yeah, yeah. So that was high school. And junior high, that was a little rougher because, like, when I was 12, let's see, my birthday's in June. So I would have finished sixth grade the summer I was 12 and then entered junior high. And so around that time, I met up with this friend that lived in the apartment building I was in. And her name was Brenda. And somehow the two of us, it's like we were playing with the Ouija board. We were doing that thing where it's like, I don't know, is it Hail Mary? Something about Mary. And like you turn the lights off you go into the bathroom, well, because the bathroom was the only room that didn't have windows, right? So you'd go into the bathroom and you stand in front of the mirror and you chant some kind of thing about, oh, Bloody Mary. That's what it is. Not Hail Mary. Bloody Mary, whatever. And then with your eyes closed really tight. And then like when you open your eyes, you're supposed to like see Bloody Mary in the mirror instead of your own reflection. We do stupid stuff like that. We'd try to, like ESP, like, oh, it's a deck of cards and I'm going to like think which card is going to flip over and weird stuff. But then it kind of just got more cultish and witchcraft, and we were our own little coven and doing spells. And oh yeah, Bloody Mary was your last. Oh, you had gotten a hold of a Playgirl magazine and put pictures on the wall. Your last hurrah. Oh my gosh. And you guys didn't get in trouble. You didn't get busted. Yeah. So then in junior high, so I was like trying to be this tough person, not because it was part of anybody else, I mean, there wasn't really any peer pressure in a sense. I didn't like join a gang or anything like that, but I just remember, I guess in seventh grade, I thought it would be fun and cool to take a pocket knife that I had, and some girl was being a mean girl to me. And so I pushed her up against a fence or something, I don't know. And I held the pocket knife to her neck, and I said, I'm going to give you ever say that to me one more, ever again, then I'm going to give you a haircut right here, and tapped her neck. And then she ran off to the office, and I my friends were like, give me the knife, give me the knife. I'm like, okay, here. I didn't know why they wanted it, or they went and hid it. And the next thing I know, the vice principal comes running out, grabs me, brings me into the office. The police were called, all this kind of stuff. It was a big brouhaha that, like, I had absolutely no idea in my stupidity that I would be in trouble for doing that. And I'm going to read. So an older sister of one of the friends came in and gave us the riot act, but she didn't tell. But she must have been one of the counselors. Okay. And you disconnected the fire alarm so you could smoke, or the smoke detector, whatever it was, you could get away with the smoking. Well, anyway, so I got suspended for 3 days. I didn't get expelled, I got suspended. And my mom, being smart, decided that I was on the wrong track. And she contacted my uncle, who lived in the next city over. So this was in Milpitas, and he lived in Fremont. And asked if I could live with him and go to school in Fremont and transfer out of the county. And it was from one county to another county. And I just remember my mom had to go to, like, the school district board offices, and she had to, like, go through a lot of trouble in order to get me registered, because I think they wouldn't let me live at home. I had to, like, live with my uncle for at least the first 6 months or something, right? So that my address was there. But then after everything was okay and I was adjusting and everything was fine, then they allowed an inter-district transfer. So I could actually live at home in Milpitas with my address there and take the bus, the public bus, to school. I was like a bad after school special, I know. Well, there's that movie with Matt Dillon called Over the Edge. I'll put it here for any that wants. It's called Over the Edge. And if you can find this movie, or even just watch the trailer of the movie, that it's so funny, because I don't know if that influenced me to be like that. The way, the hair, the makeup, the clothes, the music, everything. Um, it's like a documentary of my life. Well, except not exactly the storyline happened, but culturally, the culture that is captured in that film was me at that time. Yeah. So I kind of think of my coming of age as when I was that 12 and 13 and 14. And by the time I was like 14 going into high school, I was actually pretty mature and, like, ready for college. I didn't want to be, it's like, oh, Doogie Howser, MD, was a kid doctor because he, like, went through school early. It's like, well, why can't I be like that? I don't need to be here in high school, kind of thing. But not so much. I enjoyed freshman and sophomore year. Junior year was when I was in band. Senior year, I went to live with, in fact, the summer between my junior and senior year, I decided to move out. And I actually I had a job working as a waitress at a Lions restaurant. And I went to a lawyer and I said, what do I need to do to be emancipated? He goes, you're 17. The police are going to come. If your mom or dad, if your parents call the police, they're going to come check on you, see if you're okay or not. And if you're okay, they're not going to make you go back. You don't need to get emancipated. Just move out. So that's what I did. I packed all my stuff. I moved it out. And then my mom had a fit and called my dad, who lived in Georgia. And so my dad then said, well, either you move, if you don't want to live with your mom, either you move in with your grandmother, which was in the same city down the street, or you come live with me. And I'm like, well, fine, I'll come live with you then, because living with my grandmother is going to be the same as living with my mom. You know, my grandparents, my grandfather was still alive. Started young. You didn't until you were 17. But rebelling against society, yeah, actually, yeah, that's what I mean. We all kind of go through those stages, and definitely early for me, short lived. Yeah. Then when I graduated from high school, I was all set to go to San Francisco. Oh, I applied to several different universities. In fact, my senior year, I don't know, maybe it was like January, February, something like that. The military came in and to do a test that which is called the ASFAB test for anybody that knows, and it's basically to see what your competencies are in different areas, right? So it's like if you're going to join the military, they make you take this test so that they know where they should put you, what kind of job they should put you in. And I scored in the 98th percentile across everything. And so I had all these ROTC programs across the country offering me scholarships and everything if I would, like Northwestern in Illinois, like Chicago, Illinois, right? Or near Chicago, Northwestern. Um, they were offering me a full ride, all this kind of stuff. I applied for Chapel Hill or something in North Carolina. And I also applied for Liberty University, that was Jerry Falwell's university, because the whole, I was going to a Southern Baptist church. And on their application, they asked, have you ever smoked marijuana? Well, I'm not going to lie about anything. I said, yeah, like when I was 12, yes, I did, but I haven't smoked anything in like 5 years. And like, so that was like the only one I didn't get accepted into. Anyway, I was accepted at San Francisco State University. And so I decided to accept that. And there was a Denny's nearby. And so I went to the Denny's, see about getting a job there as a waitress to supplement going to school. I had went and registered for all my classes. I bought all my textbooks, and then I met my husband. And so I was juggling before I moved. I hadn't moved to San Francisco. The classes hadn't, I think classes had started, but I was commuting, like I'd take BART or whatever. Then I did have a Pinto. I had a Ford Pinto, so maybe I drove or maybe I took BART. Wow, very well educated and still smart. They honestly didn't pay off there. Yeah, and so I had my job waitressing, still living. I was living at my mom's house. Met Rick. I was having a relationship with Rick, and trying to go to school full time. So job full time, school full time, relationship full time. It was like I could tell that like something's got to give. I can't do all three. And so I decided that college was the thing I was going to drop and keep the relationship and the job, which may have been a stupid with hindsight's 2020, right? I should have kept job and school and ditched the future husband. But it is what it is, and I've got 3 kids, out of it. One's estranged, one's half estranged, and one's here in Cambodia, struggling, but so far so good. We can't go back though, so no sense doing it to ourselves. Absolutely. No. Do I look like I'm freaked out about it or anything? No. It's just history. For me, it's just like reading history in a book. I'm just telling a history story. It happens to be of my life, and yes, I have lots of stories I can tell. Oh, goodness. But since it's you and me here, and I don't know, maybe if Andy or Mabel watch on replay, I could really use prayers for one thing in particular, and that is, you all know about the new house and my old house, the old house I'm in now, and the plan for the move and all this kind of stuff. Well, the landlord of this house I'm in right now is struggling um, with the payment, with my rent that I've been paying, and am I a month behind or a month ahead? Uh, and he's a bit confused about it, and he really thinks that I'm trying to trick him, uh, and I'm not. And so that's what I was doing with the Excel sheet. And the bank can't print. The bank can't make a printout of just the payments I've made to this one account, because I use my phone app on my banking app to send, to transfer the payments every month, no fee, so I transfer my rent, my electric, all this to him to pay. And so yeah, I had to use my phone app, and I had to I can look at the history on the phone app, but I can't, there's no way to print it. So I had to write everything by hand of every day and every date and how much that I made a payment and everything. And then now I'm putting it into the um, Excel sheet. Yeah. Oh yeah, that'd be great if Mabel shows up. Yeah, you're welcome for sharing my life. Yeah, it makes for an interesting story. Anyway, so now currently, so he wants to go the system in Cambodia. Okay, yeah, you've got courts and lawyers and stuff like that, but anytime, I mean, it's still very tribal in a sense that every neighbor, well, like you've got the city of Phnom Penh, which is technically classified as a province. So I'm trying to think, what would the provinces be like? State, if you think of the United States and Cambodia is one level, the national level, then your state level would be the provinces. So Phnom Penh has the status of a province. And then under that, then you would have counties, right, which they call districts. And then, so county, and then you would have city, right? And so okay, you've got Phnom Penh, and then you've got the district, and then you've got the commune, and then you've got the village. Okay. And it's just geographic lines, so like a, a, a particular neighborhood is a village and has a village chief, which is just an administrator, right? And one of their jobs is to keep the peace. So if two people have a dispute, they can go to the village chief, and he will listen and try to help solve the problem so that it doesn't go to any courts or anything like that. It's fine. It's a great system. So my landlord wants us to go to the village chief, and he's going to make an appointment, and whenever it is, I'm going to have to show up and all this kind of stuff. And you knew I'd show up. Oh, Mabel's here! Yay! Mabel in the house. Mabel in the house. Okay, just in time to hear my drama. No, I'm asking for prayers. Okay, this week you can help pray, and I guess you could pray for me, but that's not where my heart is. My heart is praying for my landlord, because I really just feel like he's confused, and he has fears that I'm trying to trick him. And now I don't know if that fear is coming out of his confusion, or maybe some kind of past experience where somebody did try to trick him and try to cheat him. He's using the word trick, but cheat, right? Someone tried to cheat him. And so he's afraid that I'm trying to trick him. And basically, like, my rent is due on the 27th of each month. When I moved in, I pay on the 27th for the month ahead, right? And there was one month where I was in between jobs and I was behind, and I said, can if I pay 400 now and then pay, I got the money coming and then I'll pay, and so I caught it up. So everything was on schedule again. And he's kind of stuck in his mind, I think, of that time, and he doesn't realize that I caught it up. So I've got my Excel sheet and everything, and I'm debating on if I want to actually make screenshots of the payments. I think I will, and put them, and have them printed, uh, so that when we go to the village chief, we can, and I don't want to depend on a translator either. So I'm going to write how wonderful and amazing this landlord is. I don't have any problem with him. I think he's a great person. He's very kind. Um, he's been a wonderful landlord. And, I just think there's some confusion, and I'm glad that we're here, and we can resolve this, because obviously he's afraid that I'm cheating him. So let's settle this, let's get it settled so that he has peace. Something like that. Once I start writing, I get all the words exactly right. And then Google Translate's probably good enough. If it was like some kind of like official thing, then you want to, touch it up. But I think for the basics, it's probably, usually what people will touch up is the way a word is spelled, or something like uh, one person might use an O and another person might use an A, something like that. And so they'll just clean up like that. But the word is clear what it's supposed to be. It just might be spelled wrong, because it's some words, they're not like official translation words. It's funny that okay. You ready? Oh, you're ready to pray for. Oh, wait, I gotta go back. Okay, knew you show up. Just got out of the shower. Okay, great. Glad you're all clean and ready, ready for the day, and ready to be here. The roof is on fire. Oh, what? Like the landlord is like that? Maybe, like I'm liar or something. That's who I prayed for. You prayed for the roof being on fire? No, wait. You're praying for, because I said I want to pray for the landlord. Yeah, and so you're going to pray for the landlord. Ready to pray for something new. It's funny that I said that. What? I prayed that he would get it through his head. Okay. Yeah, exactly. The truth. Yeah. Screenshot everything. Yeah. It'll be okay. I'm not worried at all, because I know it's okay. And so I have 2 months deposit. Quite often in Cambodia, I might have mentioned this before, that the landlord doesn't want to give you back any money. So the landlord will let you have play out your last month's of rent for the deposit that you paid, so that they don't have to give you any cash back, right? And so I asked him, I gave him note. I went and I looked at my lease. What's the requirement on notice? And basically it will expire like on May 27th, unless notice is given to continue it. So technically I didn't even need to give any notice, but as soon as I knew that I was going to be moving, I think I waited until I actually signed the lease. So once I signed the lease and I knew that I was definitely moving, then I notified him and said, so what would you like to do? Would you like to apply those deposit months, or would you like to pay it back at the end? And he said, okay, I'll do 1 month, because it's 2 months deposit. So 1 month as the last month's rent. And then he'll return the other $500 is $500 rent. So the other $500 when he's sure there's no damages. I said, okay, fine. That's fair. It's up to you. But that's when he was like, well, that means I have to pay on March and in April. I'm like, no, because April 27th is for the month of May, from April 27th to May 27th. So I would not pay in April because that would be the last month. But you're behind. You're behind. You're not paying for the month ahead because you're behind. I'm like, well, yeah, I was, but I paid it up and everything. And his mind is just set, you know. And I was like, and I even when I said, look, we'll get, he goes, I'm going to go to the bank and I'm going to find out, I'm going to get all the payments. I said, great. Thank you, because I haven't had time to do that. So this was before I found out that the bank couldn't print it out, right? I thought they could. I said, great. I haven't had time to go to the bank. So if you get that printed out, I'll go by whatever the numbers say. Right? That means it could go either way. It could go in his favor or it could go in my favor. I'll go either way. I'll go by the numbers. And then he started like attacking me that I'm trying to cheat him and everything. And I'm like, how is saying I'll go by the numbers saying it's saying that if the numbers are in your favor, I'll go by it. I mean, it's just, I really feel for him. I feel for him. He's not out to cheat me. He just wants to make sure he's not getting cheated. And that's fair enough. It's causing a hassle, and who knows if like this village chief thing's going to happen during my work hours and I'm going to have to take some leave time, which my job would be fine with that. I just have to make up the hours. They're flexible, but I don't want to do that. No, he's not going to have a problem finding a new renter because he's going to have his son move in because his children are old enough now to need their own place. So his son's going to move in with his family. Surely he has a record. I don't know. I don't know, like what. Now, don't Shirley. Yeah, I know. Airplane. Yeah. Basically, you are using your down payments to use as rent. That's what is normally done in Cambodia because the landlords don't want to so basically I have $1,000 deposit because my rent's $500 and I have 2 months rent. So I had to pay $1,500 to move in. The first month from May 27th to June 27th, plus 2 months for deposit. Now, normally a landlord does not want to have to give that $1,000 back. So they will let you have your last 2 months rent as the deposit. If it's clear that there's no damage, you've been a good renter, you haven't had any problems, they're not afraid that you're going to trash the house as you leave, right? But I don't know. I mean, maybe some would rather, have to spend a couple $100 fixing something than give you $1,000 cash back, right? I mean, that's the way a lot of them are. Picturing the village people. He depends on the income, his problem, not yours. Yeah, exactly. They don't want to pay back. Yeah, well, I'll tell you, if he gets the village chief involved, he's going to have to pay back, because I'm going to leave this place in better shape than when I moved in. And I'm even going to there's some plants that are in the new house that are growing in the ground and they're smaller plants. I'm going to dig them up and because I'm going to get some new plants. And so I'm going to dig up some of these other plants and come put them over here, so that I'm going to make the patio, the garden area and the patio here really nice. Everything's going to be beautiful. There's not going to be one thing that he could say, you owe money for this, and even there was one time there was a leak in the roof and it was dripping in my bedroom. And I showed him a picture of it and he said, well, have a guy come out and he would pay for it, but have a guy. And we had to take out some of the drywall and it turned out it was the air conditioning tube, like the tube, because there's a condenser or something on the outside, and then the air conditioning. Just so you guys get an idea, if you can see where up in that corner right there where that blue light is, that's the air conditioning unit. So it looks like that. And on the outside is a box where it exchanges the pushes the hot air out, and the coolant makes the cold air, whatever. And so there was condensation on that hose that was dripping from the air con. It wasn't a pipe, right? But we got it. We got it fixed, and it's all it's all done. The kitchen sink, there was something wrong with the faucet on the kitchen sink, and so I got that. I had a plumber come out. It was only like $10 or something, so I said, don't worry about it, I took care of it, it's fixed. you know when you left your townhouse in the hood, way better than when I moved in, he paid me. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, that's nice. Renters get a bad rap. Yeah, a lot of times. Always left places better. Yeah. And so definitely it's going to be clean. It's going to be in good repair. I am wondering though that, I gotta look over the lease and see what it says about ending it early. Because sometimes if you end it early, you forfeit your deposit or something or whatever. And see what the lease says about that. Or if the landlord wants you to leave early. I know in my new lease, if I leave early, I forfeit my deposit. If he requires me to leave early, he pays double the deposit to me. I was like, okay. Because at first I was like, oh, I don't know about this forfeiting the deposit. And then I thought, oh, but it goes the opposite way for him. And oh, okay, I'll do it. $10 for a plumber. Whoa, Nelly, I know. It's just one of the guys on the street out here, I was like, hey, come, I got some work for you, It's a risk you take when you're a landlord, but so many of them overcharge and don't do crap. Oh, absolutely. The house I was in before I moved into this one had like a toilet plumbing, the gray water, I guess, is that what you would call it? The gray water, right? Like, so the sewage pipe in the house was leaking from the second floor to the ceiling of the first floor and having mold, and I told him about it, and he didn't want to do anything. And I'm like, no, I'm not living with black mold. Forget that. And that's when I moved here, So anyway, this guy's, there was one time it turned out that the leaves from the trees had filled the gutters. But the gutter, so like if this is the roof of the house, let me get out of the way so that we use this hand. This is the roof of the house, and the gutter is like this, right? So the rain comes and falls into the gutter. However, this part is inside the house and open inside, so above the ceiling, but under the roof. That gutter with the drain was clogged, so the water was backing up and it was overflowing the gutter onto my ceiling on the opposite side of the ceiling. And then it went, the ceiling was drywall and it started going through, I don't know. And so there was like, the whole house was like, it was flooded on the second floor. It was going down the stairs oh my God. And I took some video and I showed him, and he came over right away. And my pet nanny came over with her husband. So they were there like mopping, and it was about the bad luck, I have two spare bedrooms. One's the Airbnb room, and one is like my storage room with a lot of plastic boxes and cardboard boxes. And I had just switched the rooms. So all the cardboard boxes were in this room where the water came in, where like the friggin' day before or something, right? And so now I'm like trying, it wasn't flooding in my bedroom because the water was going down the stairs instead of coming into, well, it did come some a little bit into my room, but not as much. So I'm like, we're trying to get the boxes out of there and mopping the floor. So when the landlord came, and I had a ladder, and in my bathroom, in my master bedroom, there's like a square in the ceiling that you could pop up and go inside. Well, the landlord couldn't climb up there, so good thing my pet nanny and her husband were there, so he climbed up there, and then he came back and told him what the problem was, and so they got it taken care of. But he came right away. I mean, he's been a little quirky, but not bad, not bad at all. Uh, okay, so Mabel, yeah, you have the drain leaf protectors. Yeah, I should get something like that. And your landlord didn't want you to leave, but a druggie with pit bulls bought the townhouse next to us, so you left. Yeah, you don't want to deal with that. Crapola. I haven't heard that in a long time. Yeah. Anyway, so I was going to say, I'm wondering if he might want me to leave April 27th instead of May 27th. I mean, if um if if the village chief looks at the numbers and it goes in my direction, and he doesn't want to deal with me anymore and he wants his son to move in, maybe he'd like to just get it over with a month early. I would still have 2 weeks to move, because if he wants me to leave early, he has to pay me $1,000. I mean, he has to give me my deposit back, right? Because everything's going to be in perfect order. And I would make sure that that's part of with the village chief, that he can't pull any. I don't think he would on purpose. And I'm wondering too, if there's other, sometimes you just got somebody toxic in your life that's like, oh, they're probably doing this, they're probably doing that, right? And you wouldn't normally think of that, but now it's in your brain, and so it's like, oh yeah, you're right, that's probably what's happening. Could be something like that. Oh, because I live in Cambodia, crapola. It's all right. Yeah, so that got, yeah, that there's no. Oh, because yes, because normally we have in the US we have the gutter. If this is the gutter, and then this is the wall of the house. So the gutter is on the outside of the wall of the house, and then the rain, then you have the eave like this, so that the water goes in, but it's all on the outside of the house. Yeah. Well, this is like a townhouse kind of thing. So what you've got is the roofs of two houses coming together, but they're not touching. They've got that common gutter, and so then the gutter is like this for the two roofs going in. Oh, you're not saying Cambodia's crapola? It's okay. You could think that if you want. I'm not going to take offense. I love it. I think it's great. And quite frankly, I mean, in the U.S., everybody's so sue happy, go to court, pay all the lawyers, all this kind of stuff. It's great that there's a village chief that if you've got, a simple dispute that you can go to try and have someone mediate. I think it's a great system. May was just an in-case month anyway. Yeah, exactly. And also then it timed it times my salary money. I get paid. Basically, you could think the 1st and the 15th. It's actually the last day of the month and the 15th. Okay. So my salary's cut in half. I get half on the 15th and half later. And so, there's like, okay, I've already had this budget where, okay, when I get paid on April 1st, okay, like I've saved money. I mean, it's no secret, right? It's my rent's gonna be 1,000, and I have to pay 1 month deposit and 1 month in, so that's $2,000. But I gave 250 at at signing, so now when I give the 1750, then I'll get the keys. Then that's when the rent starts, and I'll have the keys. But for some reason, they gave me the keys to the yard, so I've been taking care of the yard and moved all my plants from the patio here and everything. So I've got some things started that are on the outside, and but anyway, so I've got 750 saved away from last month's salary, right? I mean, or whatever, the last salary portion that I got, 750. So my next one, and I'm going to take 1,000 and the 750, and so I have to pay that to the new landlord. And then I want to build the dog run. I want to do the catification, and I already bought the paint. Hey, Andy's in the house. Hey, we're just talking about like prayers about my landlord to help him. My current landlord that I'm leaving thinks I'm a month behind on my rent instead of a month forward on my rent, which I believe is the case, and which I believe the numbers show. And anyway, so that's what we've been. You'll have to watch the replay to catch up on it. Yeah, the gang's all here. Yeah, no, but I'm getting this. I mean, this would normally cost like 1,800 to 2,000 or more. For it's a detached house. It's a single dwelling house, and with a great yard, and it's on the corner on the end of a street that has like kind of like a little alley behind it. So there's only a house on one side. 3 sides, 2 sides are street and 1 side's an alley. So I mean, I'm just thrilled. I'm just thrilled to be there. It's such a positive thing that's happening in my life there, that this little glitch isn't getting me down at all, but it needs to be dealt with, right? It needs to be dealt with properly and in a peaceful way. 1 foot of snow overnight and still coming strong. Oh my goodness. Oh, Andy. Oh my goodness. And my mom says all the dam, she says she's not flooding. She lives near Modesto, but the Merced River, I think, because the Merced River is going to go and join the San Joaquin River, and she's just south of that confluence, but she's real close to the Merced River. She said all of the throughout the Sierra Nevada, all of the dams and reservoirs are letting out water so that they don't get so full for the snow runoff, the runoff from the snow melting. It's like 90. Oh, Chalet in Florida, it's like 90. Yeah, it's been getting hot. It's been in the 90s here as well. It's getting into hot season, but not rainy season yet. Your mortgage is $873, including taxes and homeowners insurance. You got to steal on that fixed rate. Whoa, 2.5% on a fixed rate. I had this like really, really, really great first-time home buyer's mortgage on the house, and my mom has it now. She's refinanced. She's got whatever she's got. But what we had was this kind of a semi-adjustable rate. It was with the FHA and everything, and I think we started like at 5 or 5.5%. But there was a cap. It could never go more than 5 points ever in either direction. Okay. So we were guaranteed it could never be more than 10.5%. And the other thing is, if in 1 year, if it jumped 4 or 5%, my mortgage could only adjust 1% in any given year. So it could go that direction, but it wouldn't go the full 4 points. It would only go 1 point. so that there would be time to adjust over, and those two factors made me feel safe with it as an adjustable. But my mom, she got her own loan, and I don't think she got a good loan, but that's all right. In the high 50s up to 70. So you've got some pretty nice weather. You said you're like in some kind of weird vortex, Mabel, that like all the bad weather goes around you. Everything had melted off and only a few shade glaciers, but all re-whited. Heard that Shasta Lake and Dam are almost topped out. Farms and ranches already backed water are releasing flow now. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yeah. After all that drought and now, yeah, trouble with the flooding. Here's Mama Kitty. Where do you want to go? Huh? Where do you want to go, Mama Kitty? You gonna come over here? Yeah, I thought so. There's Mama Kitty. Mama Kitty on the move. Here comes Slinky. Slinky Dinky. Slinky Dinky Binky Winky. All right. So there's your two kitties for today. Anyway, things will sort out. Things will happen the way they're supposed to happen. Either I'll move by the May 27th or I'll move by April 27th. You know, I'm not, I've kind of had this plan and I've had this budget, but if things don't work out according to that plan, I'm like, no, I have to, I've got my plan. I've got my budget. It has to be like this, no, I'm open to letting it go. If I need to readjust my plans to accommodate this situation, that's fine as long as the numbers are right, because I can't afford to just let him have $500 because he misunderstands. If it's not, if for some reason I'm a month behind, he'd have to prove it because I don't see it. And I've looked at the numbers and I see where it's caught up. Because there was 1 month in September where I gave him $400, then I gave him $125, and I gave him another $100 because that came to $625, and the rent's $500, but then I got to pay the community fee and the cable, which I never use. It's not even plugged into a TV, but like I agreed that I'd pay the cable because he can't just cut off his account and then start it up for the next person, right? He's got to maintain his account. So I pay for cable, I pay for the trash. I don't know if that's it, whatever, these extra things. So it's $540. So I paid, so that plus my electric, plus there was some water, like $2 for the water. And so in October, I paid, it was all caught up. But I think he doesn't realize the math of that the 400 and the 100 and, and the 125 added up to covering all of that. I think that's where he's messed up. And I think he thought I was behind that month, and I've been behind ever since. I think that's it. You paid $138,000. It's worth $235,000 now. Wow, your cute little house. That's so cool. Yeah, my house was 70, maybe 74 or 78, 70 something thousand is what we paid for it. Brand new, built in a subdivision. I got to pick out this and that and whatever for it because it was brand new built. And now my mom lives in it. And so she basically, the house was my alimony, so I waived alimony in my divorce, and then my ex-husband waived any say in the house. He waived all rights to the house. We did a quit claim deed, and he was off. And so my mom paid me an amount that was my alimony amount. And I said, okay, you have it. So yeah, it's probably in the 200,000s now. I always had to rent before you bought. Oh, kitty, kitty, kitties. Yeah, kitty emojis. Your trash is $90 a month. Oh my goodness. And you think they just put the trash and all that in the mortgage? Oh yeah, yeah. Some they do that. Yeah. Lord, you're in Tampa. I'm in Tampa. Your sister's house got 3.3 million. Oh my goodness. That's horrible. I hope it was worth it. Yeah. So I think that about covers everything. Um, we got it all straight. You know what to pray for. Just pray for my landlord to have open eyes, open heart, and to have peace. You know, we can do a quick little prayer right now. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, we just pray for my landlord, and we know that deep down he's a good person, and he's just afraid of being cheated, and I know he doesn't want to cheat me. He just doesn't. He just wants to make sure he's not being cheated, and so we just pray that you'd give him peace and open his eyes to the truth, and that however things are supposed to work out, I trust you, Lord, that things will work out according to your will, and I'm open to that. However you see fit for it to play out, but we just want truth and peace in Jesus' name. Amen. Alrighty. Pray the landlord will get it right. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, your sister. Okay. Makes a lot of money. Yeah. To be able to afford that for sure. So keep praying for him over the week, if you will. I'd appreciate that. And otherwise, the job's going fine. Tomorrow is an event that we've been producing for, I think, the American Chamber of Commerce, maybe. I'm not too sure about like those kind of details, but it's a digital economy in Asia, like conference or forum, and the participants are from all over Southeast Asia, Myanmar, Vietnam, Thailand, maybe Indonesia, Malaysia, whatever, all over Southeast Asia. Some are coming in person and some are coming online. And so it will be live streamed with these participants. It's a 2-day event, tomorrow and Thursday. Well, because right now it's Tuesday night for me. So it's Wednesday and Thursday. And my bosses have asked me to, they've hired a professional photographer to take all of the professional pictures. That's Slinky Dinky again. He made a big circle around, I guess. Anyway, so we've got the formal photography with the photographer, but they want me to be an additional photographer for some candid shots, behind the scenes, everything. So I've got a telephoto lens, so I can kind of be far away and kind of get some good depth of field and get those candid shots. Hello. So that'll be interesting. There's a lot still going on in the office, but the staff that I work with, our team, they're able to handle the projects that we've got going right now. So Andy, difficult to talk about house stuff. Brother's wife talked mom into loans, then said it was a gift, but it put all of us out of range, basically double payments. We held out 6 years in bankruptcy court. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm sorry for that. It's rough, Andy. I've been there with my ex-hubby. Yeah. Actually, the situation with my mom that she bought me out, blah, blah, blah. There was a lot of drama that happened between us at that time. But you can jump forward to, you saw my mom when she was here visiting. Everything's fine now. But at the time, she felt like because she was living in that, I went to, okay, After the divorce, I had Greg. I was with Greg for a couple of years. That was the other abusive one that I stepped right into. And then I felt more shame. Um, and meanwhile, my ex-husband was just getting more and more empowered and more abusive, had restraining orders that were being renewed because the police had seen the behavior. And so they were renewing the restraining orders. And I felt like that wasn't good for the kids. Plus, he could kill me, although he would deny that. But I felt seriously that he could. And so I wanted to go back to school to get a journalism degree, to get a better job in journalism. And I thought I had a friend in Utah that I visited because I just needed a break from everything. So I just got in the car and drove and ended up visiting a friend that was in Utah. And I was like looking around, it's a college town, all this. It's like, so I could go back to college here, get my degree, get a better job, continue to fight for the kids, all this kind of stuff. And, and put that distance between me and the ex-husband, so it didn't really diffuse anything. He was still, him and his wife were still aggressive. But anyway, the house. So when I went to college, I tried renting out the house and I had bad renters, but they didn't last long and they left. And so then my mom's rent had gone up in the Bay Area. And I said, well, why don't you move into the house? And instead of paying rent, you just make the payments, and it's a win-win for both of us. I don't have to look for a renter, and you're paying less than you would be paying for rent for the apartment. Well, apparently at that point, she felt like since she was making the payments that it was hers. I was like, I never said I gave you the house, right? Yeah, you've been making the payments, but I would have found another renter, and so that's kind of like where all that drama went. And but we worked it out. And she ended up officially buying the house from me. We claimed me off. And so then it was hers to do with whatever she wants, and I don't look back. She can do whatever she wants with it. Prayers for all of us. Yes. Anything specific you need help with? You had friends asking why you didn't call the police. About the whole bankruptcy court thing? Or was there something else that I don't see a comment about anything other than the bankruptcy court, Andy? Oh, wait. It gets worse. We poured our heart and soul and our inheritance and wifey money's gone and only had proceeds of sale. We gave half to the older daughter, graduated from Long Beach. Andy. So is all this like a past thing and you're okay now? Like, yeah, we can all commiserate on things that we've been through, but it's what you've been through and you're not in it now. You've recovered. I hope that like this place that you're at, I mean, it sounds like, you're near Shasta, you're on the volunteer fire department, you got dogs that you walk in the morning, you're amazing with music. It seems like things are okay for you, but I don't know. Yeah. Okay. Now. Okay. Good. But yeah, we can all commiserate and like, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. You have a nitroglycerin tablet under my tongue. Your heart hurts. Oh my God, Mabel. Hey, if you need to go to the hospital, then go. All right. You don't need to hang out here if you need to go to the hospital. I get for some reason, since I've been in Cambodia, carbonation. It's the only thing I can figure, because anytime if I have anything with carbonation, at least that's like beer or soda or champagne or anything, it's like some of that gas finds its way to my heart or something, like, or like a pleurisy in between the the heart and lung layers, you know, and that bump, and it feels like a heart attack. Oh my God, it feels like an ice pick in my heart. So I don't take, and the only thing I can associate, it could be in my head, but the only thing I can associate it with is carbonation. If I don't have a carbonation, I don't have it. If I said, oh, I'll just try one sip, then it's like a day and a half later, it's like I feel the ice pick in my heart. But Mabel, you know, you don't even have to say, if you can't type something and you just go, that's okay. We'll sort it out later. I mean, Chalet knows how to get a hold of you. In fact, Chalet, I don't know if you want to call and call Mabel and make sure what's going on, how serious this is. I mean, is the nitroglycerin, is that like normal? Is this normal? You know, I don't know, but I care about you and I love you, and your medical health is more important. Know what happens. You hardly ever drink carbonation. Okay. You know your own body. And if the nitroglycerin tablet is like just what you do and it's okay, then you're welcome here. It's not normal, but yeah. I get it. Not normal, but it's something you understand about your own body and your own health, and you know how to deal with it. And using the nitroglycerin tablet is how you deal with it, and it works. If that's the case, then I love having you here. And you have your little button around your neck. Okay. Andy, full relocation, dusted off your wildland firefighter gear, answering medical call, and wifey at ag inspection station. So, okay. So your wife works at the agriculture inspection station. That's cool. And and you're able to just do the firefighter thing and answering medical calls. I don't think you mean you just got a call right now that you have to go answer. Because if you had a call to go answer, I would expect that you would not take the time to write about it here. You would write it in the comments later that, oh, sorry, I had to leave unexpectedly, after everything was done. Hang tough, Mabel. Yep, we're rooting for you. Dear Heavenly Father, we just lift up Mabel right now, and we lift up her health. And Lord, we just ask that your spirit, your angels will pour out the blessings, pour out the healing on Mabel, Lord. We just ask that in the name of Jesus. We ask that you touch Mabel right now. In Jesus' name, amen. In whichever way. Can I take credit for the prayer instead of the tablets? No. It's all together. It's all together. Okay. Good. I'm glad you're normalizing. That's good news. Okay. Correct. No call at the moment. Praying for Mabel. Yes. Okay. Good. Whew, just a bad thumping headache now. All right. Amen. Chalet. Amen. Bad thumping headache. Well, let's hope that dissipates as well. Oh, the side effect is a headache. Okay. Yeah. Amen. Good. So do we have any more fun things to talk about? Andy, how are the dogs? Let's pray that prayer takes the headache away. That's right. I've heard stories of people whose spiritual eyes were like opened in like a vision kind of thing, and they could actually see angels pouring healing onto somebody that needed healing. I don't know if that's true or not, but I don't know. I think it's biblical. I think there's some place in there about that. But laughter is good medicine. Should we talk about something funny? Do you guys like blonde jokes? I don't know a lot, but I know a few. Like, and this we'll get. I mean, I think the younger generation won't get these. How do you kill a blonde? You put a scratch and sniff at the bottom of the pool. Oh no no no! Your last video. Sorry if that offended anyone. You were. I was DNA level. DNA level. I was healed, and that whole story's in another video somewhere. Yep. Put a brunette on my hair. Dogs love the snow, especially the snow bear, all white Pomeranian. You gotta be careful. You could lose that one. um, how do you know the blonde has been using the computer? There's whiteout on the screen. Today's kids don't even know what whiteout is. You know what I mean? They don't know what a scratch and sniff is either. Those are the two I remember. There's something. Oh yeah. Okay, I think this. It goes. There's this blonde driving down the road, and she looks out the window in the field, and there's another blonde in a rowboat, rowing in the field, and she's like, "Hey, do you need some help?" No, I'm just, I don't know what to do or something like that. Well, come over here or something about helping, and they're like, "Oh no, sorry, I can't swim." It's just a field. There's no water. Whiteout saved our lives. I know, huh? For sure. Oh, that was weird. About my hair. Blah, blah, blah. Any more jokes? I could look up blonde jokes. Yano, my ex-friend's mother, invented whiteout. LOL, just an FYI. Wow, that's cool. So let's see here. Blonde jokes. Yeah, I know what they are. Oh, let's see. Why do blondes tiptoe past the medicine cabinet? You're a bottle blonde. Okay, that doesn't count. Why do blondes tiptoe past the medicine cabinets? So they don't wake up the sleeping pills. Okay. So if I do images, I think there's like memes or whatever. How did the blonde try to kill the bird? She threw it off a cliff. Weird little tidbits that happen along life. Yeah, sometimes you're brunette, sometimes you're blonde, sometimes you're both. Chalet was blonde until she was 7. Okay. I've always had dark hair. I don't know, it's weird. I dyed my hair kind of a blue, but the lady didn't use toner. So it didn't really and it didn't stay long, but that's why I've got it's not gray coming in. It's almost like it looks like a black compared to the rest of it, which looks more brown. But the brown is like my normal color, so it's really weird. Blonde Jokes Volume 1. How does a blonde carpool work? They all meet at work. Strawberry blonde is a youngin'. Why do blondes hate Smarties? They're too hard to peel. They're like M&Ms. The Smarties that are like M&Ms. What do you call a blonde in the closet? Last year's hide and seek champion. Why did the blonde return the jigsaw puzzle? Because she thought it was broken. Two blondes are trying to unlock their car. The first blonde tries to unlock it with a coat hanger. The second says, "Hurry up, it's starting to rain and the top is down." So your grandson is also a strawberry blonde. He's getting his big boy hair now. Okay. How can you make a blonde go up on the roof? Tell her that the drinks are on the house. Let's see, what's this one? A man sees a blonde on the other side of a river. He asks her, "How do I get to the other side?" The blonde responds, "You're already on the other side." Why are blonde jokes so short? So they can remember them. What do you do if a blonde throws a grenade at you? You pull the pin and throw it back. Laughter is good medicine. Okay. I don't get this one. Why do blondes only hang out in odd numbers? Because they can't even. Is that missing something? Because they can't even. Why do blondes only hang out in odd numbers? Because they can't even. I don't know. Okay. Fella tells a blonde joke, confronted by 5 blonde people, and asked, "Do you want to tell us that? Do you want to tell us that joke?" They asked. Fella says, "No, thanks. I don't want to have to explain it 5 times." You're going to take a Xanax so you don't laugh so much? Oh, Mabel. You say that all the time. Okay. How do you get a one-armed blonde out of a tree? Wave at her. Okay. Not all blondes are dumb. This isn't a blonde joke, but it's a blonde meme. Not all blondes are dumb. They are just absent-minded and easily impressed. Okay. We'll see. You like a blonde joke? Yeah, okay. Let me go back to some. Okay. How do you make a blonde laugh on a Saturday? Tell her a joke on Wednesday. When something goes wrong, I say, "I can't even." Oh, okay. I can't even. So it's kind of like short, like I can't even go there, or I can't even think about that, or I can't even whatever. You just stop it at "I can't even." Something goes wrong. Why do blondes only hang out in odd numbers? Because they can't even. All right, so that makes sense to you. I mean, I guess you got to really know the expression. My grandma used to say, "I mean to tell you," and I would wait for her to finish. A blonde was watching the news. The reporter said that 9 Brazilian men had died. Then the blonde said, "How many is a Brazilian?" Let's see. I can't see all of that one, so I don't know. Still waiting for her to reply, Mabel. Me? Reply about what? Your grandma? When something goes wrong, I say again, I say that all the time. Nah, nah, nah. Shouldn't be laughing like this, taking a Xanax. Andy gave us a joke. This is good stuff. I really laughed out loud at the car joke. I know, wasn't that great? The top's down. Everybody's laughing. Been dead for years. She was my step grandma, the one from Maine and Mississippi. All right, MISSISSIPPI. Okay, here's another one. A brunette, a redhead, and a blonde were robbing a supermarket when a police officer walked in the store. The 3 women decided to hide in 3 potato sacks. The cop kicks the first bag, and the brunette says, "Meow." The cop says, "Oh, it's only a cat." He kicks the second bag, and the redhead says, "Woof, woof." The cop says, "Oh, it's only a dog." He kicks the third bag, and the blonde says, "Potato." A blonde goes into the library and cheerfully says, "Hi, I'm here to see the doctor." In a stern but hushed voice, the librarian says, "Miss, this is the library." So the blonde lowers her voice and says, "Oh, sorry, I'm here to see the doctor." Okay, here's another library one. A blonde walks into the library. She walks up to the counter, slams a book down, and screams at the librarian, "This is the worst book I've ever read. It has no plot and far too many characters." The librarian looks up and calmly remarks, "So you're the one who took the phone book." What's this? Okay, here's a little different format. You didn't get that one. The library. So I did 2 library ones. The first library one about the doctor was like, she's in the wrong place, right? She's not at the doctor's office, but she talks normally. And then the librarian is kind of like, the librarian is saying, "This is a library," right? As in, this is not a doctor's office. This is a library. But the blonde misinterprets the answer as in, "This is a library. You're supposed to talk quietly." So she quietly asks her question or says she's to see the doctor. She didn't get that the doctor wasn't there. And the second one, oh, it's a phone book. So of course it had no plot. Yeah, the doctor. Okay. Grew up with Pollock jokes. Oh, those are just as good. You just put anything in, I mean, it's just fun. How many, whatever does it take to change a light bulb, Okay, so here, instead of like a punchline right away, these are all just one-liners. She is so blonde, she thinks she can't listen to her AM radio at night. She thinks Taco Bell is the Mexican phone company. She heard that 80% of accidents happen at home, so she moved. She missed bus 44, so she took bus 22 twice. At least she knew some math. She tried to put the M&Ms in alphabetical order. At the bottom of her job application where it says "sign here," she wrote Virgo. She told her friend to meet her at the corner of walk and don't walk. She thinks the TGIF on her t-shirt stands for this goes in front. Let's see. What's this one? There we got blondes and Alabama. Two blondes are sitting on a bench in Alabama. One blonde asks, which do you think is further away, Florida or the moon? The other blonde replies, duh, can you see Florida from here? You can see the moon, so it must be closer than Florida, right? There's another state. Now we're in Oklahoma. Two blondes living in Oklahoma. Oh, it's the same joke. The moon in Florida. All right. What's the library? A blonde says, what does IDK stand for? The brunette says, I don't know. The blonde says, why doesn't anyone know? Who's on first? What's on second? Library. Two blondes. This one's even dumb for a blonde joke. It's black and you just have the white voice bubbles. Sure is dark in here, isn't it? I don't know. I can't see. Why did the blonde get fired from working at the M&M factory? She kept throwing out all the W's. All righty. Is that enough blonde jokes? I love blonde jokes. But I'm a firm believer that that blonde isn't a hair color. You can be any hair color and be blonde. There are like this ditzy, stupid people that exist, and they don't have to be blonde. They could be any hair color. M&Ms, I know, huh? Knock knocks are good. Yeah. I'm kind of getting tired. I got to get up early tomorrow for this event. Starts at 8. So I should be there by 7. If I have to be there by 7, then I got to be up by 6:30. And that's if everything is ready to go. Then I can do that. So, yeah, I'm at the end of my day. It's 10:30. It's not late, but it's an early start tomorrow, and I am kind of tired. But it was good chatting. You know, pray for my landlord. We're gonna pray for Mabel's health. We're gonna pray for Andy's snow and Chalet. What are we gonna pray for you for? Anything? Anything you want? Anything we can help you with? That you see more dolphins? It was great. Yes. I really enjoyed. You know, you guys make my day, really. I mean, you make my week, you know. I'm always looking forward to it. And even during the middle of the week, it's like I'd really like to do this more. When we get the Wi-Fi and it's fast enough that we can have the Google tab open. I might even have to get a new computer at some point. I mean, obviously, we've got some budgeting to do right now, so might be a couple months in, right? But to have the Google screen, and then we could like be chatting about stuff like we did that one time. It was Mabel's story time, and we were talking about the cars and this and that and everything. And I can just like Google stuff, and we can all see what everybody's talking about. And that was so fun. So you remember being young at DuPont and doing presentations hungover with no sleep. Oh, to be young again. Yeah, you know what? Some of the young stuff, I'm ready to pass the torch. It's like, all right, you guys go have fun. That's fine. Sanity. Okay, so we're going to pray for your sanity with your cult of personalities. I don't know. Sometimes I'm scared to watch the scary one. Oh, I had a comment. Because it slows down your voice so much. I'm wondering because sometimes it's hard to figure out what words are being slowed down because they're slowed down so much. Maybe you should talk faster, like whatever you want to say. Like, for example, I remember being young at DuPont and doing presentations hungover with no sleep. Ah, to be young again. Say it a little bit faster so that when it slows it down, it's still creepy, but we can, because sometimes I literally, I can't understand what the words are supposed to be because it's so slow. So I think if you talk normal, it slows it. So maybe you need to talk a little faster. So when it slows it down, it's just enough that we can understand what the words are. Finally got your Chromebook out and running. Oh, good, Mabel. That'll help. I mean, that, like if you're bedridden, having the Chromebook there to like be able to explore and do things. You were on the roof just as the snow started, installed the Starlink. It works great. Wow. Elon Musk Starlink. Yeah. All right. We're going to have Andy on as a guest and tell us what you think of this Starlink, because I know there's a lot of talk that it's like one more step closer to transhumanism and the digital cities and all of that. Because if the Starlink is covering everything, then you have the capacity, the infrastructure to have the digital cities and things like that. So that demon, I just can't. I know. So the last couple of demon ones I haven't watched. I'll be honest with you, because it's just a little too well, if I can't even understand what it's saying, then there's no point in it. But I think it has its purpose sometimes, depending, like the one time Chalet, that you were as the demon saying kind of like, oh, welcome to hell. This is where, make your choice. Do you want to be with me? Or do you want to follow God or something like that? Right. I mean, okay. But then when I could try to talk faster. Yeah. Love all the personalities. I know. Right, Andy? They're fun. That demon is supposed to scare people away from the devil. Right. But he's not going to scare anybody away if we can't hear what he's saying. Just some constructive criticism. Because I want it to work for you. I mean, it's amazing app thing that it does it, but if I'm just hearing, whoa, 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 and I'm not hearing it say anything, then it's just creepy. I'm your daddy. Oh no. What? Yeah. Scary one is scary. They're not going to have a chance when they don't have a chance. Yeah. I'm not saying don't use it, but just be careful on choosing to use it and make sure that we can hear what it's saying. Yes, Andy, tell us on StreamYard. Yeah. We want to know. So like maybe next week you can come on board on deck with me. So like if you're not out on a call or something, and tell us about it. But you can always have, Andy, you can come up with like an avatar or whatever and not show your face. I think that we can do that. I think you have to have your camera on when you come in, and then I see there's the screen that you all see, and then under that are, like, if there's people, then I see the people, and I have to click on you for you to join on the screen. So I think when you come in, the camera's on, and then I can unclick. I mean, then you can turn your camera on, and then I can add you. Blah, blah. We could figure it out. I'm your daddy. You scare this Christian. Yeah, yeah. I'm already Christian, and I get scared. Accept the challenge. Okay. Yep. Yeah, we do know you love a challenge. And yeah, you don't have to show yourself. Yeah. Her personalities are gearing up for next week's election. What kind of election do you guys have going on? It's not a presidential election. Those are in November. A state election, or governor's election, or like the House of Representatives kind of senator kind of thing or something. Oh yes, I am what I am. A nut. They should have a squirrel. They should have a squirrel app, and then yeah, we can say you're nuts. All right, but God wants me to speak. Yeah, do what your heart says. That's fine. Yeah, and I do think that it's hard for me to understand sometimes the opera one, but most of the time I can understand everything that's being said. La 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 la. Oh, you're gearing up for the presidential election. I thought you said next week. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Oh, you had your grandson do one. Not on YouTube, but he was scared of himself. Ah. Gosh, these cats are running around. Yeah, the cats are kind of getting antsy as well. Next year's presidential election. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a squirrel. Yeah, that'd be fun. You just have to listen over and over to the opera one. I know, I do. I let it play a few times. I think that's why you get so many on the shorts. It's because people, or then like if you start to leave a comment, it's still playing and it's still rotating as we're writing the comment, Just the next election. Okay. You make it up as you go along. Well, you're doing a great job of it, and you're very entertaining. We are entertained. And hey, kitty. Yeah. So Betty, bye for me. I got to lay out my clothes. I got to figure out what I'm going to wear. I'm the photographer, so I have to wear something. I don't know. Between black and cool, maybe. Hello, kitties. This is Slinky again. Slinky, I don't want to see your butt. Yeah, I can come on live. Just gonna need wifey to hook Mr. All Up, for instance. What is StreamYard? I'm analog Andy in a digital diorama. StreamYard is what I'm using. So when I send a link, I give you an invite link, and you just click on that link, and it says, oh, your mic is your microphone and camera working and everything, and you say yes at that point, because you're not going to go live. It's not going to automatically take you live. It's going to automatically bring you to me, and I'm going to see you, and then I can talk to you and say, okay, yeah, I see you now, Andy. Turn off your camera. And when you turn off your camera, then I can click and add you, and then it'll be the two of us together. Yeah. Sweet dreams. Thank you, Chalet. Okay, I need sleep. Be fresh for your presentation. Oh, I'm not giving I'm the photographer. Other people are doing presentations, but I'm the well, there's the professional photographer doing all the formal photos, and I'm the candid behind the scenes. Not even the other staff know, because the big bosses, because I don't think anybody's watching this, the big bosses want me to take behind the scenes for like the end of the year party thing or whatever, that we've got our staff behind the scenes. So of course I'll get guests, candid shots of guests and things like that. But I'm also on a secret mission to get behind the scenes of our staff working. That's why I have a telephoto lens. And I'm going to be teaching a photography course for anybody who wants to join on the, as training, as a staff training. And it'll be, I've already got it worked out 11 weeks. And on the 12th week, we'll do like a little mini exhibition. And they'll get a certificate at the end, because one of the things our big boss has told me is that there's a lot of people on our staff that regularly use their cameras and are quite good photographers in general, but they haven't had any kind of formal training or anything. And they themselves don't feel confident to call themselves a photographer. It's like, is there anybody on staff that's a photographer that can stand in, oh, I'm not a photographer, but they're a photographer, but they don't, they need a certificate to feel like they're, so we'll give them a certificate, but they have to go through my course first. Don't need StreamYard. You just click a link, Andy. Candid photos. Yeah. Sweet dreams. All right. Yeah, no, I didn't put the link up today because I'm saying goodbye now, but next week. All right. So I'm going to end the broadcast. Thank you so much, everybody, for just hanging out. We're just hanging out, being friends, having fun. And I look forward to seeing everybody. Same bat time, same bat channel, which on Tuesdays is 9 p.m. my time. And I think it's 10 for you guys. Are you guys coming up on 12 right now? You guys are coming up. Eastern time is coming up on 12 o'clock. Real quick, just so we make sure we got the time right. I think you're 1 hour ahead of me. Switch the AM, PM. Yeah. Okay. So at 10 a.m. on Tuesdays, Eastern time, calculate the Pacific. And stay warm. Enjoy some hot cocoa. Don't lose the Pomeranian in the snow. And Mabel, rest. And Chalet, stay sane. Okay. See you all next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Bye-bye.